Okay, so we are here. I can't. Every time I say that, I keep feel like I gotta say the rest of it. We're here. We're queer. All of that. But we are back here in Blender, and we have our hair. And as you see, it does not fit our avatar at all, which means we're gonna have to do some modification to the hair. So first thing we're gonna do is click on the hair and go into edit mode. As you can see, it is very dense. There's a lot of, let me turn this off. There's a lot of things going on with this hair. But we're not going to pick at it. It's fine. The first thing that I like to do is I like to convert it, remove as much triangles off the hair as I can to make it a little bit lighter. So when I have it, I'd like to go into edit mode like we are now. I want to press A and select everything. Oh, I guess I should turn on the screencast so you guys can see what I am doing. Let me get out of edit mode. Shush you. There we go. So let's go into edit mode again. I'm going to press A and select it all. And I'm going to press Alt J. And this is just going to get rid of some of those extra triangles on here, making it a little bit lighter for us. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is I have created an extra window on the side, which acts as my UV window, so I can add textures and stuff. If yours not there, let me just get rid of it so I can show you how to create it. Alright, so you're going to take your cursor and you're going to move it to the top right of your screen, and it's going to go from an arrow to a little cross, and you're just going to click and drag it over until you get a second window. And then from the second window, you're going to go down to the bottom left corner and you're going to select UV Image Editor, and that gives you your UV match to work on. Now, I should have included a hair texture for you to play with. If it's not in there, sorry. it wasn't in when I first started, but that's because I just thought about putting it in it right now. So when you guys get it, it should be a hair texture in there. So what I want to do is, with the hair selected, all golden and stuff right here, I want to go to Open and find the hair. I have a bunch of hair, so I'm just going to select this hair right here. And you can see that the hair is overlaid on here. So you can see how it's going to be when we put it in World. It's not that great, but it's cool. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. Alright, so with the hair here, if you can't see the texture, just go into your shading, go into object mode and go into shading on the side menu and select textured solid, and that allows you to see the textures. Oh, it also helps if you're in Blender render. They don't really work much in cycles. Okay, so we have our hair and it is joined, and now we're going to start editing the hair around the head of the cat. It's like a tongue twister. So what we need to do is click on the hair, press tab and go into edit mode. Go down here to the bottom of your screen, the toolbar, where you'll see the selects. So we're going to choose vertex select, and we're also going to enable proportional editing. I like to use enable, just the full editing for the first working, and then we can fine tune it with connected. But right now, we're just going to click on the enable, and you're going to click on the top of the head, and we're just going to pull it up. Now, it may not work when you first do it. You may have to establish the field of influence, which sounds really complicated, but what that really means is we're going to click on the dot first, press the G key, and you should see a little circle. If you don't see a circle, just keep scrolling your mouse wheel in until you see the circle become visible, and you can actually see if that's good for you. So you see when it's small, it only moves this amount, but when you stretch it out and make the circle bigger, you see it has more influence over the mesh. Cool, huh? So basically that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to use S real quick and scale it up. I like to make it a little too big and then tailor it in rather than make it small and then pull it out. If you find that the proportional editing is getting in your way, you can just turn it off and maneuver everything until it looks right. You can also use these tools, the manipulator tools at the bottom, for stretching your hair in directions, just like the Second Life stretchy thingy. Alright, that's about as good as I think we're going to get it. Alright, so I'm go back into vertex select it. Oh, put that back on. And I press G. Oh, I didn't turn the manipulator on. Back on. Alright, now we can press G and move things. Jeez. I like to, when I'm editing the body or editing the mesh for this, I like to slowly tap the field of influence as I'm pulling it, either making it bigger or making it smaller for the greater effect. Now, let's say we're trying to get underneath this part of the head, right? And as you see, when I try to click on it, I keep getting the bangs and stuff. Like, it's selecting part of the ponytail. Alright, let me get a better example. I'm trying to edit the mesh in the back of the head. And as I'm editing the mesh in the back of the head, I'm actually pulling away the ponytail as well. And if I try to push the ponytail back in, you see that I'm pulling the back of the head back into the head, which isn't good. So this is one of the key reasons why I said we need to assign each part its own material. Because if we were to do the next step, which is to separate the ponytail from the head so we can edit the hair base separately and the ponytail separately, we would have to select all of these strands of hair and then separate it that way versus what we're about to do next, which is way easier. Okay, so if your ponytail is getting in the way of your base, we need to remove the ponytail from the base so that we can edit it and then combine them all back together. So what I like to do is select the hair, go into edit mode, press A a couple times until it highlights. Then we're going to press P, and then we're going to separate by material. So now when we go to object mode, you see we have our ponytail layer, our braids, and our base. And then this other base that's under here, let's just get out of here. Shoot. Alright, so we're going to take our ponytail, and I'm just going to move it to another layer, get it out of here. And I'm going to start pulling the hair base out. Actually, I think I might combine the hair base and the braid together, just so that they move together and make it a little bit easier. So once they're both combined, I'm going to press tab, click on the head, and we're just going to pull it out. See how much easier? See how much easier that is versus trying to manipulate underneath that ponytail. Alright, so let's get that under there. Now we can also tighten this part up, like I said before. We can select 2 points, or maybe 3, 1 for each side, and then we can press the S key and scale it in so that it's underneath the head like this. Now of course it's going to pull it back into the head, the base into the head, but we can just select the dot and then pull it right back out. Just something to remember that Second Life people do not like blunt edges. It's always got to be pointy. We're a pointy hair culture. So if you want to like tighten things up, you can just select the edge and press S and scale it in. You can also press R and rotate it out like that. So giving us this. So I'm going to do that again. Tighten it right here. Then pull it out. Oh, that. That was a comment I did on a Steven Universe video where I was saying, like, Greg has been living in a van. And according to that trailer, they didn't make the house on the temple until he was like a toddler. So you telling me that Greg has been living in a van with a baby and nobody called the people on him? That's a suspended belief right there. So I'm going to tuck that underneath here. Alright, so now we have this issue with the texture. So we can do multiple things with this. We can go from the enable, which is pretty much edit all, and go to connected, which is edit single, and select the hair that's kind of making this look a little gross, and press G. Huh? You don't have to get selected, G, and kind of pull this out, pull this over, kind of cover it up. There is some things you can do about, maybe selecting it, separating it, and then rolling the texture over until it looks right. But I find that just grabbing it solo and tucking it in works a lot better, and it's a lot faster than doing texture work on here, because I want to make this as painless as possible. So that looks a lot better, right? Better than before. Pull this under. Pull that under. Yeah. There you go. Not bad. It's a lot better than it was before. So, still a little bit of tailoring that needs to be done up here. Oh, I still have it on single select all. So click this, zoom it in. I gotta really make sure everything is closed up here, because we don't have an alpha system on that blatant cat for the head. Kind of forgot about that when I was making it. Now, I'm pulling in the braid for this, so I think I may want to separate it again. So, select this, press A, P by material. Okay, so now I'm going to close up this head. So I'm going to select the open edge, select the vertex, press S, and then we scale it in. Here again, scale some more. Cool. So now we have sort of closed edge here. And do the same thing for the top. Right here. Okay. And one more. Alright, now we have our base in there, and this hair is huge. I didn't realize how big it was. Maybe a little more tailoring. It's going to take a second. So, alright, now I can still do it. It's like, maybe I should pause it and come back when it's all. Nah. Push it over, push it in. I'm sure somebody's sitting there like, this is not easier than making that traditional hair. And to that person, I say, shut up. Teach us how to make it properly then. You can push it in more if you want the bangs. I just like that really big Rumiko Takahashi bang. If you don't know who Rumiko Takahashi is, Inuyasha, Ranma, how her characters always have really big puffy bangs in the front. I love that. I always think that's really cute on anime-ish characters. Like, mine. So, push, pull, and edit until it looks right. Alright, now we have it all set. And it does look a little uneven, but that's because I did it. And I'm blind. You guys will, when you do it, it'll be nice and straight and beautiful. Okay. So we have our tailoring. The hair fits. I'm not liking this little thing right here, though. So I'm going to go back into edit. Sorry, it's taking a lot longer than I expected. You know something I just thought about while working on this? There was that comic that was out, Tale of Two Rulers. I wonder how that's doing. I haven't watched it in a while. By watch, I mean read, or, listen to the fan thing. You know what? If this is in the way, we can just press L and get rid of it. But I kind of like the idea of having one little cowlick in the front. Yeah, it's a comic about Ganondorf and Zelda being married. And a bunch of circumstances surrounding it. There are some things I don't like about it, though. But overall, it's good. Alright, so cool. Wait. Alright, damn it. Alright. I do wish selecting these would be a little bit easier, though. There. Much better. Alright, now we can get to the ponytail. Jeez. Alright, so let's go hold down shift and select the layer we sent our ponytail flying to. So we can grab this, and I'm going to press R. Now, I don't like that the rotation is so far off. You can actually assign where it rotates to by clicking the 3D cursor where you want it to be, then pressing Shift, Control, Alt, C, and you're going to just say origin to 3D cursor. Now it shrinks and stuff to that, which is much better. And placement. Alright, so I want the ponytail to be right here. A messy ponytail. I guess that's what I get for creating strands in the middle of it, instead of doing what I said in the last video and going down the middle properly. You know what? I wonder if the Sculpty Smooth tool would help that out. No, it's kind of making it worse. Let's try it again. Yep, definitely worse. This wouldn't really be an issue if you had hair that wasn't uh, textured like this. I mean, solid colors would probably be like bang. Oh god, I just almost dated myself there. Nothing. Yeah, I want to tighten this ponytail. Make it very Shantae. I almost said banging. I ain't bringing banging back. And press G and I'm going to position it like this. If you want, you can actually press R while you have and you can curve your ponytail up. You can even, make it cartoony at the end and make a really big curl. Just rotate and expand this a bit. G, pull it out. Oh, I pressed E by accident. Crazy ponytails that make no sense. But that's anime for you, right? Hair that doesn't make any sense. Of course, mine's just kind of going over to the side. Alright. Excuse me. Now, this is up to you really at this point, how thick you want it to be. I had put in some extra accessories in here to cover it up, the ponytail, so it looks a little bit nicer. So we have some genie hair. What a silly looking genie. Alright, so we have that. And you can, if you want to, solidify it. Make it a bit thicker. That may or may not jank it up. So do that. Just apply. It's so thick. I have to taper off the edges. Oh, sorry that this is kind of messed up. Don't worry about the triangle count. We'll deal with that in a minute. You know what's weird? Is that, that's on, that's why. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Not exactly the best example of what this program can do, but I just started playing with the solidify modifier with this just yesterday. Well, no, it's just this morning. Alright, so hair in here. Hair is goofy. Hair needs to be puffier right here. Alright, so I have my ponytail and it's all here. Now, if you are one of those people who care about topology, I suggest you avert your eyes because this is going to be messy. So, of course, with the triangle count and the 300K, we cannot upload this into Second Life as is. It will explode. People's computer will explode if we decide to bring it in regardless. So we're going to have to reduce this in order to make it work. So what we're going to do is click on our ponytail. We're going to decimate and just drop it on down. Stop when it starts to break up. So like that, that's too much. I feel like maybe I should have went with a simpler hair than this. This is a bad example of what this program could do. In fact, I believe that this hair single-handedly ruined my tutorial. It is a bit easier to drop it into segments rather than doing it all at once. You know what? Forget this ponytail. We have... It's down enough. Let's go to the rest of the hair. Do the same thing. Decimate. Okay, you know what? Forget this ponytail. I'm going to delete this ponytail. And I'm going to look over here from when I did a test run earlier and made a beautiful ponytail. There we go. This one. It's pretty lines and all that stuff. We're going to take this. Avert your eyes. This is unrigged. It was always unrigged. Alright, there. I'm going to take the ponytail from this one, and we're going to pretend like this is the one that we made earlier. Alright. In fact, let's just pretend that this is the hair that we made. It's all tailored and beautiful. It's like when they're baking a cake on TV and it burns and it's like all gross, and then they cut to commercial and come back and it's beautiful. That's what I'm doing right now. It just cut the commercial and came back to a beautiful hair. Okay, so we have the hair. It's all tailored and beautiful. An example of this. And we're just going to join it. And, yeah, that's how you tailor hair. I'll come back to this one day and make a prettier one when I master ponytail fixing. But for now, this was the only time I did it and it came out right. So we have our hair, and it's all tailored, and it's gorgeous. Just some clicking and pulling. And now we're going to go to our next video. Really the last videos where we rig it and then import it into Second Life.